FlurrySports Podcast. We're going to go over a lot of sports stuff today because we're in the thick of sports season.
Yeah.
We just had 2 drafts in the past week, and seemingly that would be something I'm interested in because everyone knows my love for the NFL draft. I think that's the best part of the NFL season, maybe.
Oh,
and
wow.
then the NBA and then the NHL drafts happen, and pretty good. It is what it is. It's a Sunday. We're recording this on a Sunday night. So again, there's not even baseball happening. I think all the games are done for the day. Like nothing is happening in the sports world quite literally other than Malik Beasley may or may not be in trouble. And that may or may not be good or bad. So that's kind of the news of today. Oh, LeBron's coming back.
For the cheap price. What a play. Yeah. 54 million, dude.
There's also breaking news that did warrant notifications from multiple sites that his wife wants him to probably retire within the next couple of years. And depending on which side of the fence you're on, either that is good, either that's bad, maybe that's obvious, maybe she's controlling, maybe he is, there's so many non-stories coming out of this. It's really fun.
I'll actually disagree with you slightly. I think the only option there that's not true is it's not good. Either side of the fence, you think it's bad just for different reasons. Like either his wife needs to get out his business and let him play forever, or I can't believe he's still playing basketball. You're mad either way.
It's true. That is the NBA in a nutshell. James Harden, by the way, opted out of his contract to sign an extension, and he is so hated by certain people that there is a site that literally the only thing they reported is that he opted out of his deal. Nothing else. It's just to make him seem like a bad dude, and it's because he immediately signed an extension. It's for some reason, sports world right now, this is going to be a really weird year. I can already feel it. This next 12 months here, it's going to be insane. And luckily, you have found the FlurrySports Podcast to keep you. Naz Reid, he is one of the most coveted free agents.
Yeah.
let's let that sink in. He's fine. He's a great player, I guess.
The Wolves got him. 5-year deal.
Thank God. And they didn't even need to give up 5 first-round picks, which may or may not be valuable for him, like they did with Rudy Gobert.
I think good value, 125. I think that's good for everybody. 5-year, 25 a year.
The Jazz drafted a player who openly said he didn't want to go there. That's the only place.
Crazy. Yeah, that was. They might have to do something about that. The NBA, like Donovan Mitchell left, so we got to stop talking about it. No one wants to play in Utah.
Well, at least we know the Utah fans, I'm sure, will accept this guy. They're really going to rally around him.
They're loving, they're welcoming, that's their deal. Yeah. I will say, elephant in the room as well, my voice is not at 100%. I've been at a youth camp all week.
Screaming at kids.
I had a couple moments where I was like, what am I mad about? Like, you just get so, like the football coach in you where you're like, I'm now mad at everything you've ever done on the football field. I had a couple moments like that with kids.
Perfect. There's no right answers. I love when you get into a mood like that.
Well, okay. This was the only time at camp, Zach, truly. And like we've been doing camp stuff long time, our whole lives. So I'm used to it. The only time I threw my hands up and I'm like, no, we're done playing this game. I don't know what to do. We play a game called Boofer, which is you fill very long socks full of flour. And then you play tag. You hit each other with these socks. Mm-hmm. And when I say, Zach, that I had to stop this game for both the physical safety of the kids there and more importantly, my feeling that I was about to be named in a lawsuit, I was like, no, we're done. I was like, we're done with this game. I was the only adult out there. And I think we played this our whole lives. And I can't remember. I didn't give any guidance besides, well, listen, I had the counselor start and they were like, here's the socks. Those people are it. Once you hit someone, they're it. Run around. Don't get hit. That's the game. Cool. They didn't say hit below the knees, which I was fine with at first. In hindsight, I'm like, okay, maybe we do that. Zach, here's what happened. One of the 8th graders there, what are you going to do? Puberty really got him. He's my height. He's firmly 6'8". He's way bigger than everyone else. And this 3rd grade asshole, who will remain nameless so that I don't get sued on the back end of this, but who was a nuisance all camp. But he got into this 8th grader a few times, hit him a few times, was supposed to give him the sock dip. So I'm walking over to be like, hey, leave this kid alone. The 3rd grader gets him again, and this 8th grader turns around with the sour-filled sock. And Zach, when I say I thought someone shot a gun, I was like, oh, no. Got him clear in the back, a welt the size of a softball, immediately bled, immediately changed color. This guy's on the ground like he plays for Real Madrid. He's just rolling around. Where's my red card? And this kid, yeah, dude, it's brutal. The older kid, by the way, is like, hey, he started it. I'm like, I know. I'm not dealing with that right now. But that, and then I think the same kid, someone else got nailed, and then the same 8th grader got a counselor too, and he wasn't trying to kill that one. He just got a really good, another welt. And like, this was what was happening. I just need to know, am I soft? Is the world softer? We did this game the whole time, but I called it, and here's why. Because kids were running around going, literally saying these words, oh my God, when my mom gets you, I can't wait to show her all my bruises. And I was like, no. I was like, and that's the game. We're going to play Sharks and Minnows instead, everybody. Bring the socks to me. Sign these waivers.
We got narcs there that, I mean, it changes the dynamic a little bit.
Well, I needed some validation because the game clearly became how hard can I hit somebody? And I'm like, well, we have played that game for transparency with folks every year for the full 15 years I've helped. So it's like, we'll bring it back. I'm sure we'll figure it out. But I'm like, I don't know. Is it time to put it out the pasture? I needed an opinion on Buffer.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if you're playing it right.
Well, I had that thought too, and I didn't set it up. That was my first thought, is next time we play it,
you said you were the only adult out there. Like the only, was there counselors out there or no?
They were doing it during a counselor meeting, which was mistake number 1.
So you're missing the whole point of the game. The whole point of the game is to form a line. Am I thinking of the wrong game? You form alliances, and then you have to go around to the counselors to do certain side quests.
You're thinking of Counselor Hunt.
Okay.
Where they go to the counselors. What's the point of this game? Just tag. It's just tag. I think we have played Boofer before, where Boofer is literally, it's capture the flag. We've played Boofer where there's a goal in getting things, and we have played Boofer where the goal is just not to get hit by the sock.
Okay.
This was a time killer. The one you're thinking about, which we played, they love every year, Counselor Hunt. And maybe we did a combo at one point, but Counselor Hunt, it's you all hide, they find you, and then to get a signature from you, they have to complete a task.
Right. Which is the best game because
100%. And they love the system. Correct. They love capture the flag too. Like they got into that. So I will admit that, yes, next time we lead it, more structure.
There's just got to be more things going on, because if the only thing they have to focus on is how hard can I hit this thing?
Yeah. Well, I knew from the setup, and without the counselors, I'm like, we had 45 minutes. I'm like, maybe this will go 20. I stopped it after 8. All of that happened in 8 minutes. I was like, nope, we're good.
It happened fast. Yeah.
Yeah, very fast. Also, then this shouldn't. I was like, why is all the kids went in. I didn't like this either. Talk about being narcs. After my game time was over, they all went to the next things, and they're like, Jake, I've never played games as dangerous as Jake's games today. I was like, sentences we don't need to say out loud. How about we keep my name out your mouth,
you never invited back. You ruined it.
Crazy. Well, game 2 was Sharks and Minnows. It's not that hard. You stand on one side, there's people in the middle, they tag you become seaweed. This was the issue with the seaweed. The seaweed, our cousin James Marr included, I will name him, because James Marr had a real good understanding of low man wins. All the seaweed did. So in my version of Sharks and Minnows, and other people's too, of course, but you get tagged, cool, you're seaweed now. sit on the ground, put your arms out, tag people as they run by. Well, what James and a couple other people were doing, the frickers, they're already sitting on the ground. James was waiting for people to jump and then suddenly putting his arm up. So James sent about 4 people ass over tea kettle. I saw 4 in a row, just dong, dong, dong. And I was like, stay on the ground.
Yeah, learn.
Stop jumping over him. And like everyone's like, oh, he tripped me. And I'm like, that's his job. Stay grounded.
Seaweed. Yeah, good job. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Like that one, I was mad at the kids. I was like, this is on you all for getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not on me, Your Honor.
And it went both ways. Because one seaweed, this was the issue, and I had to adjust the seaweed rules too. Because the one kid, I could tell he was like, okay, don't jump, but also move, because he sent his knee right into a girl's face. He like didn't wiggle. Like the seaweed just stood there and took one. And I remember this was one where I let a kid have it because he's like, she didn't move. And I was like, that's because I told her she couldn't. I said, stay here no matter what. No one will run into you. And then you kneed her in the face as fast as you could.
You know what? That's what happens sometimes. It is what it is. You need to start wearing mouth guards, maybe. Maybe that's the issue.
I don't know. I can listen. I love camp. I can sense my youthful patience trading from me though. The worst experience was I played Giant Sharks Wizards, but for sake of the show, let's just call it Giant Team Tic Tac or Team Rock Paper Scissors. They pick an action. Rock beats paper. The whole group does it. They chase the other, and this time I added water balloons. Zach, when I say I spent with one group 20 minutes trying to explain the rules of rock, paper, scissors, like it was impossible. Out loud, a counselor at one point said, I don't know why everyone chased us. We won because we had rock and they had scissors. And I was like,
counselors upset.
The counselors don't know how to play. I was like, sit down. I don't know. And they all had water balloons. So they just started throwing them at each other, which I'm like, this is fine. But they were all mad because they're like, they don't know how to play rock, paper, scissors. And I'm like, this shouldn't be what I'm doing today.
No. I mean, I guess you need a whiteboard. You need to draw place on the whiteboard. I
need a whiteboard. What I wanted to do, and I almost did at one point, I'm like, just throw the water balloons at each other. It's fine. Just have a water balloon fight. I wanted to be like, all right, when I say go and everyone reveals, I want everyone to stop and tell me who they think won. I wanted to make them show their work,
Right. You should have. Yeah, step by step. Who thinks they won? Everyone raises their hands. Then you break some bad news.
That's right. And now everyone hand me your water balloons. You obviously can't be trusted. We're going back to Sharks and Minnows. Stay grounded.
You got to get the play right without the ball first, and then we'll implement the ball. True. Then we start throwing it around. We got to do it on air first.
I know. We had that. I feel like more and more kids are sleepwalking. That was my other.
Really?
We had a couple issues with it. We had a kid who was freaking other people out because they woke up and they were just standing there. But
Blair watching it.
That's fun. A little bit. But it's like, hey, they sleepwalk. Zach, I think I've told you this, but to folks who don't know, I feel like that was the hardest thing I ever had to deal with as a camp counselor. 1 year. I think you were on staff, but I had a kid sleepwalk. But he came to me in the middle of the night when I was in his cabin as his counselor, and he goes, "Someone stole all my stuff." And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I woke up, it's all gone. And I was like, your locker's empty? And he's like, yeah. And so I was like, where do you think your locker is? He took me over and I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, well, where's your sleeping bag? And he's like, they took that too. I was like, weren't you?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, weren't you in it? He's like, yeah, they stole my sleeping bag right off me and my pillow. And I was like, that's crazy. I don't. And then did what with it? Like, I was like, can you describe to me what it looks like? And he's like, I think it was this kid. And I'm like, no, tell me what it looks like.
I like that though.
Yeah, I'm like, help me.
Class A bullshitter. I like this kid.
Yeah, and then I was figuring out, I was waking up and I was like, this is not where this kid's sleeping. So long story short, I walked him over to his bunk and all of his stuff was still there. And I was like, do you think this is your stuff? And this was his line in the sand though. He goes, they put it back. And I was like, all right, we'll figure out who did it tomorrow. Go to bed.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah.
Jokes up.
Yeah. And then Next night, same thing happened, but I just walked him back over and I'm like, don't worry, I already grabbed it for you.
Kid's got the earliest onset dementia I've ever heard of.
Yeah. And then the next morning, though, he didn't remember any of it happened. Like, we called his mom and like confirmed, like, yeah, he sleepwalks. And I'm like, well, does he?
You made it up.
Yeah, I was like, then he gaslights when he does it. That's crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, if you got any, Randy, thank you. Jake is jacked as always. I appreciate it, Randy. If you got any fun camp stories, folks, put it in there. Zach, can I ask you, what was the like? Do you have any funny like behaviors you had to handle?
Not really. Like, I really passed the ball off. You know what I mean? Like,
as you should. You're a glue guy. Distribute.
Yeah, exactly. If there's an issue, I mean, there's a couple of like. Honestly, I was pretty good at talking kids down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, honestly, I remember one time that I probably shouldn't have handled it this way. I understand that. The kid was whining because he missed his parents, and I explained to him how they probably don't miss him, so it's okay. like don't feel, because you got to convince them first that they feel bad because they're like, you know what, they're probably worried about me. They're not. They are living it up right now, and if you call them, they're actually probably gonna be mad at you. So you don't want to do that. You gaslight them. Like, this isn't happening.
I can tell you on staff, that is the number one thing that happens is a phone call to a parent who's like, tell him to tough it out. And it's
exactly. Like, I don't want to hear about this. Is the one night I have away from this little shit. I don't want them calling me crying.
You promised me 3 nights and I'm going to get it. God damn it. I know. I gave you credit this weekend for a strategy that I like to call, what are we doing? Because I hit a kid with that a couple times, and like one of the other staff was like, that was literally the kid. Listen, what else am I supposed to say? The kid jumped into a trash can looking for something. I walked over and I said, what are we doing? He said, I jumped in a trash can looking for something. I said, do you think that's the best way to do that? He said, no. I said, all right, get out of there. They were
bingo.
Like, yeah. I'm like, that is what I remember your strategy of like, just hit him with it. We don't have to make him feel good. We don't have to have a long combo. They know.
Explain to me what you think you're doing right now. And if you can convince me that's a good idea, then you can keep doing it.
Yeah. Were you there the one year we did a water balloon fight and the world's most annoying camper got a water balloon right in the ding dong?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
I think we could say his name was Johnny. No last name.
Yeah, I was yeah,
absolutely. And Johnny was driving us all a little crazy. And the world's quietest, nicest counselor got him with a water balloon right in the nuts, which we all knew because Johnny yelled, she got me right in the nuts. And then he fell over.
Good actor, though. he was milking it.
The rest of camp, that was my favorite. He went back to camp the next day. You go, hey, I don't know if you saw this, Jake, but she got me right in the nuts. I did see
Everybody found out.
We all went over and shook her hand. We were like, way to go.
He was walking with a limp the entire time.
Yeah, you can't have kids now, but it was a good story. No, it was, that's camp. The story I had for you, though, that I think is genuinely funny is Kyle Hilger, friend of the show, other staff there at camp, told me he's always got good ones. He told me that he loved banana bread, which we all do. And he loved banana bread so much as a kid that his mom kept having to add rules so that they couldn't have banana bread all the time, because basically she was worried about him gaining too much weight from eating banana bread, and also she didn't want to make it all the time. So she hit him with the, well, we're only going to make banana bread when our bananas go bad, and then she had to be like, well, and not just one banana, you need a few bananas to go bad, then we'll do that. So Kyle, he's like, for multiple years they'd get bananas and he'd hide the bananas in a different cabinet of the kitchen, like one banana at a time. He'd take one, not too many at a time, so he'd get suspicious, but he'd take one, add it to the stash. Then he'd watch them, wait for them to go bad, and then put them back on the counter.
Yeah, look at what we have here. Look what I found.
Switch them out. Oh, you'll never believe it. This banana, I found it over here. It's not good. And he did that for a long time. He's like, I didn't do it too often. And Kyle's got a bunch of older siblings who are also 4-H Caitlin, of course, who's awesome. But I was like, Caitlin had to call you out on that. And he's like, oh, she did. And one time she was like, you are hiding bananas. And he goes, don't you like how much banana bread we're getting? She's like, I do. And then it continued, which I was like, that's a good scheme. Yeah, don't ruin, don't you like what we got going on?
What are you, some communist that doesn't like banana bread? What's your plan there?
And so that was my question, that was my big segue into, is banana bread, like banana bread is one of the foods where if you told me you didn't like it, I'd judge you.
Yeah, I would say so. I think, dare I say, I think friend of the show who was on last week, Luke Reimer, I would venture to guess he doesn't like bread because he doesn't like bananas. But I'm not saying to disprove your point. I'm saying he would be one of those people.
And maybe I judge him a little bit. And listen, Luke, if you're listening, which you usually are, let me know if you don't like it, because that's fair. But I know, listen, you can't get any fruit into Pete Osmond no matter how hard you try. He loves a good banana bread, though.
Of course. And I like this vegetable, but explain to me the magic of zucchini bread. What the fuck happens there? Like, I like zucchini anyway, but if you put it in bread form, all of a sudden it's one of the best desserts of all time.
Zucchini bread is so good that I always question why it's not in every bread.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. I've never made zucchini bread. I will never make zucchini bread. It's one of the most beautiful mysteries in life, where it's like you add zucchinis to this, it's going to be sweet and delicious. But alone, that's not what those are.
You've never made it. You're a baker. Like you legit bake. You've never done it.
I wouldn't even consider it.
You should. I think for the fair one year, you should just turn it in and call it my first zucchini bread.
Yeah.
See if they give you extra credit for it.
I might just start throwing zucchinis in random recipes and just see what happens.
As we learned in previous fairs, by the way, we compete in the fair every year, open show. It's all about what you call it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to dress it up.
Yeah. One year turned in a chocolate cake that was inedible. Giant, soaking wet, just the worst cake you've ever had. And it made it into the fair cookbook because I called it world's best chocolate cake.
Sounds great.
It got disqualified. They didn't.
Yeah, but it sounds good.
They didn't even do a double check of their own outcomes.
Lindsay, she won best in show with her fancy cookies last year. And I wanted to make sure the judge knew that these were fancy cookies. So I called them fancy cookies and put them in a fancy font. She ate it up, quite literally. She's like, oh my God, I've never heard of anything like this before. Raspberry lemonade, crazy. Two flavors that have never been put together whatsoever, raspberry and lemon. And you know what? It won.
Claire's trying to talk me out of it. Not seriously. She thinks it's funny too. And I'll probably just call it someone else. But I'm competing in fudge against Uncle Ron this year. And I'm just dying to call it better than Ron's fudge.
You should. What are they going to do? They can't put his above it. You already singled out one.
And I like letting the judge know this is what's happening. I want you to compare the two. And that's the whole thing, because they might not try every fudge, but if I called it better than Ron's, they're trying both of ours.
That is true. Yeah, you'll for sure get an honest opinion, I think, of whose fudge is better at that point. There's not going to be a mystery. One of you two's getting a ribbon.
I go and check the ingredient sheet and just has the word "not" written above the recipe title. That'd be brutal.
Yeah, they edit it. You also got to make sure there's no insider trading here, and make sure Ron doesn't get a whiff of that, because he might do something then too.
Yeah, that's so true. Otherwise, I was trying to think of other camp things. The only other thing was we had a giant snapper show up at camp.
Oh, like turtle or what?
Turtle. Yeah.
Just wreak havoc like in the middle of the camp or what?
Well, right in the middle for folks for know, is right in front of the mess hall, like right in front of the lodge. Right,
really?
Smack dab middle camp, 50-pound snapper. The kids got up, a few of them for nature hikes. So 30 kids at 6:30 in the morning. And boy, did they see nature. The snapper was right in the middle of camp.
Yeah.
Kind of froze. She was looking for a place to lay eggs. So about 2 hours later, she finally moseyed out of camp. Next morning, came back, dug a big hole, did her business. And I think there's turtle eggs out there, but just giant. And they named her Jerry. I was like, kids, what are we calling it? Immediately, some little girl, Jerry. I'm like, all right, done.
Okay. Not bad. That's a decent name.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
I kind of like it because it's not good.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I would need to know the spelling. I'm down with it though.
We settled on G. Gerri.
Okay, so like Murphy. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
That's an acceptable one for
I
sure.
actually think
That's a joke for 3 people.
Yeah, Jerry Murphy the turtle is a really good in honor.
Yeah.
But
he deserves that too.
No. Also, I'm trying to keep kids away from this turtle. I don't like to go to this well, but it's good to know that this fastball still got some heat on it. I'm trying to get kids away from this 50-pound turtle that could, like, listen, this turtle doesn't want to be here, but if it wanted to, it could do some damage. I'm like, hey, don't get close, it'll bite you. They don't care. They're still running around. Hey, don't get close. It could get you sick. They don't care. Hey, don't get close. That's a girl turtle that has cooties scattered to the wind. Just couldn't get further away from the turtle. I was like, okay. Good. Still got it.
Yeah. Don't want those. That's fine. We've already disproved COVID, but cooties are still up for grabs here. We don't know.
Yeah. Now that we know vaccines don't work.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm a little bit paranoid. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but this is how well it worked, because I don't know what to do. Folks who have kids, let me know. Do you play into that or not? Because I don't want to, because it's like, listen, just don't be weird and talk to everybody,
Yeah.
Let's grow up. But also the rest of camp, anytime they saw the turtle, all the boys, all these like 9-year-old boys would call each other side, be like, hey, stay away from that turtle, man. She's got cooties. I was like, well, that's exactly what I want to happen. So that's nice.
It doesn't matter how you get there. That's why the whole like showing your work thing, I completely disagree with that being a thing. But if you get to the right answer, you get to the right destination. I don't care how you got there. Great. Fantastic.
I've disagreed with the show your work thing ever since I was shamed by Coach Mack in 10th grade physics. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't need to show it. And if you ask me what that says, I don't remember. That was a while ago. I can't read it either.
I mean, I missed a day because I was sick, and I came back and I asked my friends if I missed anything. And they're like, yeah, Coach kind of clowned you. And I was like, what did I do? He held up my paper and Mariah Mauer's paper, cousin of Joe, and held them in front of the class and said, both of these got the same answer. One of these I want you all to copy, and the other one is Jake's. It's a real sentence he said out loud, and mine was just messy. He could understand what I was writing down. Same teacher, he minus 3 points for me one time because he thought I spilled pizza sauce on my paper, and I bled on it. I stapled my thumb. When I told him this is true, Zach, when I told him it was blood, he changed it from a -3 to a -1. He could.
He felt a little bad, yeah.
He didn't, he wouldn't fully walk it back. But it's
no. Keep it clean. But okay.
He changed it to a -1. He said, in the future, don't bleed on my tests. I said, we'll do.
I mean, hard tests. That's fair.
Hard tests, hard times. By the way, probably one of my favorite teachers. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But yeah.
Yeah, he told you what it is, He says it like it is. He gave you zero bullshit.
No, none. And he loves Separate Ways by Journey. It's his favorite song.
Does he? I don't know that.
He was playing 80s music one time, Separate Ways came on, and I was like, this song's pretty good. And he goes, it's Journey's best song. And I was like, oh, is it? And he's like, yeah, it's probably my favorite song. It's one of the best songs all time. Like, no affect, nothing. And I was like, I'm not going to push this because this is the best conversation I've ever had with anyone. So that's great.
Like, I've heard him listening to music before. Like, there's been music on while he's been in the room. I can't picture him enjoying music. So that's interesting.
He is. Okay, this is a real phenomenon. There are teachers you can't imagine having hobbies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
He's one of them a little bit.
Yeah. What's he do? Like, he doesn't fish. He's not going to go out and he doesn't hike. There's no way. I don't know what I don't know.
Do you think he cooks? Does he got a cooking hobby? No way. He crochets.
I don't think Coach Mack, guaranteed he doesn't know how to cook, but he'll judge you if you use a microwave. He's that type of person. Like, he can't even fathom frying an egg, but if you put it in a microwave, he would judge the shit out of you for doing it.
I could see that, and I'm leaving a door open for this. I think you're probably right. And listen, no shade intended, but I am purposely comparing you to.
Okay.
Or he goes the other way where it's like if you walk up to him and you go, "These are really good muffins," he'll go, "I'll see about that."
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
he takes baking really
yeah,
seriously. He's like, I
true.
know a good muffin.
Like he has that personality that he would perfect it. I just don't think he can. I don't know. He's too.
I know. I really want. Okay, Zach, you give me some, but other people in the chat, I just want to hear about who's the most mysterious teacher you've ever had. I could see you out there. Get in the chat.
I mean, I mean,
it's him for us. It's hard when we've overlapped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for sure him, but there's got to be other ones. You never had. Winchester is very interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think he's necessarily.
He's the other way where he's had every hobby.
He has. He is one of the most obscure people to, just discover in the public.
Yeah.
Like it's always kind of sad.
I know, but this is a highlight of my life, but you're so true. One of probably my favorite teacher, I think one of yours too, but the one time I saw him out in nature after school was during the run to the Bucks championship, game 7 against the Nets in a bar in Hayward, Wisconsin, which for the record is about an hour and a half from where we live. And he was there alone at a bar when he had been on the water drinking with the other teachers that day. He said he floated the wrong way down the river. He said they'll catch me on the way back up, and he's just walked into a bar alone, to your point, to watch the Bucks.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
There he was. But he's a mystery. He was a gambler. He worked in the soda business.
Gambler.
A good gambler. He had to give it up.
Yeah, he had to, because he got his wife pregnant. Yeah, he was like professional, like blackjack player. We had in advanced government law, we had like a 3-week section where we just learned how to play blackjack.
Yeah.
Like we learned the probabilities, we learned how to do everything. Like, and honestly, one of the most useful lessons I've ever had. Yeah. And he's the reason why I do this job now. Quite literally. Like he's the best. He's the greatest.
No, he'd get you hooked on stuff. I know we're kind of poking fun of him. Just an awesome teacher. He's the reason I'm like still kind of in the literature, or at least like content analysis. Mm-hmm. Like if he can make you care about Old Man and the Sea, my minor was like based on Ernest Hemingway. It was all just because I read books. Yeah. Literature with an emphasis in 19th century American authors. So it was a lot of Hemingway. So
sure.
There you go. But no, they were mysterious. Also, Mr. Curtis. Jack Curtis.
Jack Curtis. Yeah. I don't know if he's mysterious. I feel like I know exactly what he's doing. He just watches Big Ten Network. I don't think that he does anything else.
True. Yeah, true. I mean, less mysterious than Coach Mack. Yeah, because Coach Mack, like, obviously coached a bunch of different sports. Wouldn't surprise me at all. He goes home, never watches sports.
Right.
Like, truly,
like I don't. He doesn't want to see other people coach worse than him.
No.
What's there to gain from that?
That's so funny. Yes, I know. Teachers are wild that way. I'm trying to think of the lady's name, but the one who was your homeroom teacher in high school.
Freitag.
Yeah. What were her hobbies? Not mysterious.
Molesting kids.
Okay. Besides that, I wasn't going to go down that route, but it's like,
are you thinking of the same person?
Well, no, I don't think so. Who is the history teacher?
History teacher. Oh,
Hostak.
Okay.
Like all I can think of Hostak is she came to school, she taught. She like would have kids recite the words to "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Every day. We sing a new military song every day.
Yeah, true.
She's a weirdo. She taught my parents.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what does she do? She's just there, you know?
Yeah, and she's best friends with Winchester.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, we found him. We found a good comparison. Yeah.
I don't know. And one of Winchester's biggest hobbies was going to Mexico. Remember that? What's that about? We never fully explored that.
No, he had property in Mexico. This is a real thing that happened. I'm saying this out loud. Every year he would get all the seniors to sign a t-shirt. He would take or button up. but he would take that shirt to a property owned in Mexico. He would look at all the things that kids had written on it, set it on fire, and then send it into a ravine.
That's what he said.
He showed me photos of him doing it.
Okay. I don't know. Something's happening. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that needs to be explored a little bit more.
What do you think he thinks of the border wall? That's going to get in the way of all of his Mexico trips.
I don't think a border would stop him.
No, by the way, he'll know everyone who works it. He'll be like, you know me, I just got to burn this shirt.
We got all this Mounder stuff that we got to give out allegedly to people in Mexico. I don't know. What a weird person.
What a weird person. Speaking of weird people, I don't know. Adam Silver.
Speaking of weird people, I saw Weird Al last night in concert.
Oh, there's our segue. Yeah, please tell me all about it.
So, opener, by the way, had the funniest moment of the night.
Oh, wow.
One of my favorite moments of the night. I'm not sure if you know who Puddle's Pity Party is.
The name sounds so familiar. I'm Googling.
He was on America's Got Talent. Yeah. He is like this really good singer who dresses like a clown that sings songs in like a sad way. Like in minor key, basically.
Okay.
So he was great, by the way. Like he's such a good singer. Second to the last song, maybe. For him and Weird Al, there's like a video backing, like they had different stuff going on in video behind them. And all of a sudden his song turned into like this memoriam/love ballad to some male celebrity. Who do you think that would be? Like this is a joke just for me. Like some people thought it was funny. Some people had asked me and asked people if this person died because they thought it was a memoriam. You don't even need to guess.
Alive.
Person's alive. Kevin Costner.
No way. Awesome.
Like a love song to Kevin Costner. He all of a sudden had a Kevin Costner like print out head fanning himself because he's so in love with him, basically. Just singing to him. He had different like epic backings of like movies of Kevin Costner in the background. Ended with a bare ass video of Kevin Costner. I don't even know what movie that's from. But it went on for 6-7 minutes. It was a long time. And it just wasn't really. Then he just left. Then he just walked off the stage.
That is funnier than every celebrity I was thinking of. That's such a good pick.
It's so obscure because like everyone knows who Kevin Costner is. I don't think he's ever a sex symbol or like someone anyone's ever had a crush on.
And like, I even think now, like I think of Kevin Costner, I'm like, cool. Like I
like him. Everyone likes him.
Yeah, but to take Puddles that to a 10 out of 10, that's awesome. Puddles loves him.
Yeah.
So does Weird Al? I mean, his show still great. I'm guessing
it was insane. It was so good. Like he sounded identical to recorded shit. He played 1 million songs. This is like the bigger and weirder tour or whatever. Yeah. So he brought back a bunch of old songs too, which is good.
That's nice.
But so I think he went on for 2 hours. He brought back like the Michael Jackson songs, which were good. He had, if he played 16 or 17 songs, whatever it would be, probably somewhere in there. He had about 10 to 12 costume changes, which is stupid. In between when he was doing the costume changes, they would just show like videos of him. Like it would be like different things he's done. So different like YouTube videos, stuff from his old show. If he did like guest spots on The Simpsons or like from the Weird Al movie and shit like that. So like it was seamless. That worked super good. So that never seemed weird. But then all of a sudden he'd come out in like full Amish costume. 85, 90 degrees, just pouring in sweat. Then all of a sudden he's on a Segway doing white and nerdy. There was 1 million things. And that was super good.
Those were the two I was like, he's got to play white and nerdy in Amish Paradise, right? Those are like.
He came out in a full fat suit for.
Oh my God.
Fat. Yeah.
That is
for one song.
I can.
And then he changed again.
It's crazy. I can read the lyrics of that song, by the way, to my dad and just get him dying hysterically.
It was great.
There's
but
so
he
many,
sounded identical, but the most insane part is that he sang Sounds Like Nirvana, like song 3, where he was screaming. I'm like, this is a bad choice. This isn't gonna work.
Every night or like 5 nights a week. That's crazy.
Right. I think this was show 2 of the tour. So maybe this doesn't hold up. But boy, it was great. I would recommend it to anybody.
And he plays the shit out of an accordion.
Fuck yeah. There was so much accordion. That was awesome.
He's like a renowned, like he's really, really good at it. I think he's like world class. Yeah.
Yeah. He was really good with it. And there's also no like vocal backing, which like it sounded really good still. But I'm like, I'm surprised he didn't have like a backup plan.
Yeah.
Like that just wasn't there. There's like no vocal backing for him. And then he had like a huge band and shit there too, like live band. So
yeah,
there's like 3 or 4 other singers and shit like that.
And I bet that's a great crowd.
It was such a weird crowd. know? It was every generation, not every type of people, because I will say
white.
Predominantly white. Yeah, very white. Have you seen Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah.
I would say a quarter of the crowd looked like James from Love on the Spectrum because it was the tie-dye shirt and long curly hair. Everybody looked like James there. It was awesome.
By the way, that you got to give credit where it's due. That's a perfect TV show. That is a perfect TV show. It's just like what I tell people of like, you cannot like Love Island, but it's a perfect show. It's awesome.
Yeah, it has everything. They nailed it.
Have you seen the clips from this season where the one lady's trying to tell the dude that she's a mom?
Telling James, I think, right? Or no?
Oh, sorry, on Love Island.
Oh, on Love Island. No, I haven't.
I'll give you word for word. She's dating someone else, and she's trying to tell his good friend on the show, so he has someone to talk to about this secret that she's mom. Okay. And she goes, "I have something to tell you." And he goes, "Shoot, tell me." And she goes, "I'm a mommy." And he goes, "Mommy?" And she's like, "Yep." And he goes, "Mamacita." And she's like, "No, I'm a mommy." He goes, "Like, you have a female dog?" And she goes, "No, I have a child." And she goes, "You have a real human child." It's like this dude's a sim. It's not real. Like, what's happening? Yeah. But it's been everywhere. Mommy, mamacita. Like, what are you?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like is this the US one or the UK
This
one?
is a US one. The UK one is awesome. We can't watch it because Claire just can't, which is so fair. We we're watching and on our phones or whatever, and you can't understand the accents. They're brutal.
They're pretty thick. Yeah. They ham it up.
They really ham it up, and they're all smoking. They're all talking through cigarettes. They're hitting them with birds. They're all birds.
They are all birds. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Good chat.
I haven't watched Love Island forever. Maybe I should watch that.
Good time to get back into it. But Love on the Spectrum, perfect show.
Absolutely perfect show. I will say, because I didn't watch anything. Like, I watched all 3 seasons at one time, basically. Yeah. So
season 3, the best.
It's the best, but the producers, the people running the show, need to grow the fuck up. I think like they need to figure it out because there's certain people that they kick off the show saying that their story's been told. Fuck you. Where's Steve? Bring Steve back. You're saying Steve's story's been told? He deserves the fucking world. And we're just going to throw him out after you set him up with some Russian whore. And then all of a sudden, oh, it didn't work out. No shit. Like, this is stupid. That dude's the best.
Steve probably doesn't want to be on, right?
I don't know. Well, I know in season 1, the normal chick, basically, I don't think she was on the spectrum enough for the show. But they told her that her story's been told and she wanted to be back on. But they didn't have her on.
I don't know. Sense. I'm going to ride if the train lady's not back season 4.
I don't know. I'm good.
No, I'm in on it. I've never loved anything as much as she loves trains.
Same. I admire the passion, but I don't think I could do that.
I don't know.
I'll have her over. You know who's the worst person on the show? And I've already told you. I'm not sure. I think I've said it on the show. It's Dabo Sweeney's son, Tanner. He stinks. That dude is not there for love.
I can't believe you said that out loud. You have told me this, but it's such an unpopular opinion.
That I dislike him, or that he looks identical to Dabo?
No. That you dislike him. Everyone loves Tanner.
Yeah. And guess what? Everybody's wrong. Tanner's there for one person. That's Tanner. It is stupid. There's clips of him on people's podcasts looking dead in the eyes, so bored, and then says, "Can I speak now?" Fuck off, Tanner. He's about himself only.
It's the whole deal. I think that he's working on that, man.
Work off camera and then come back for season 5. Season 4 is you time. Work on yourself.
Listen, they can't all be. Is his name Cole? Is that the awesome one?
Connor.
They can't all be Connor. Connor rocks.
Connor does rock. James is the fucking man. And then James found a baddie off the show. Like he did it himself. I admire that. And we better not kick him off because of it.
I know, but what are we going to do without clips of James speed dating?
I know, it's so funny. Just getting so pissed off.
Which, by the way, that's the most relatable. Like, I was like, I don't care what conditions you got going on. Speed dating is brutal.
I didn't know that was still happening.
Big cities. It's a big deal. Well, it's just like Claire and I went and watched the new movie, The Materialist, that has Pedro Pascal in it and Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson.
J.K. Rowling's not a fan of him, by the way. Just found that out.
Who? I'm a fan of who?
Pedro Pascal.
No, I'm not going to do my J. You're trying to.
No, J.K. Rowling fucking stinks.
Like, dude, she fucking sucks. I don't care what you think about anything, J.K. Rowling. You had one really good idea, and your books aren't. She
can't even write. She's such a bad writer.
She has if her books were a street, they would be a Wisconsin road. They have so many fucking potholes in them, dude. It's insane. She gives Hermione a time travel device they never use again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot. That's your biggest problem with her.
Snape loves Harry's mom so much he's still fucking dick to him. I don't understand that. Everyone likes Snape now. He could have been a little nicer to children.
Yeah, of course he could have.
Okay, he likes Harry's mom, but he can't let anyone know. Is that why he fucking bullies Ron? What's the deal with everyone else, Snape?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the bullshit she makes up afterwards, where she's like, there's no Jewish wizard. She's like, Senior Goldstein, Jewish wizard. Fuck you. Like, I'm not even exaggerating.
Have you? No, absolutely. Well, listen, the reasons I really don't like JK have some of her views in real life, but like
the whole Dumbledore's gay thing too. She's like, you didn't know? No, JK, because you can't fucking write. It doesn't matter either. Like,
or the time she was like, yeah, she's also anti-Semitic. Like, she was like, what do you mean there's no Jewish people? Have you seen all the comically Jewophobic goblins that I put in there that are based on Jewish stereotypes? What do you mean?
They're fucking eats matzo ball soup in there. It's insane.
No, but we gotta stop doing this where it's like, who are the news outlets who keep regurgitating the people we know we don't like? I haven't heard anyone who's been like, oh, thank God JK weighed in on this. Like, no, yeah. It's the same thing. I think that now every time it's like, oh, good, Kanye, you're here. Like, no one invited you anymore, Kanye. I can't listen to Jesus Walks anymore because of you. Okay.
Oh, I know. I just listened to Black Skinhead yesterday. I'm like, it's so good. I just want to go back in time to this Kanye. It's so sad. He was my favorite artist. I'm like, damn it, Kanye.
And listen, it's not just politics. I need Jack Black to stop coming on things. Like, I'm like, nothing. He's not in the same category. I just try to take it out of politics a little bit. I don't need to know. I think people got mad at LeBron at this for a while. Like, I don't need to know LeBron's favorite recipes. I don't need to know Jack Black's, you know, I don't need to know J.K. Rowling's opinions on fucking anything, but like sometimes it's like, hey,
No,
I'm good. We're good.
true.
No one's ever put a mic in my face and been like, hey, by the way, what do you think of trans people? But it's, I have to hear
Next
every
week's
time.
show, come back and listen.
This is, I'll clean it up with this. J.K. Rowling. Who are the reporters who keep asking her what she thinks of different celebrities?
Nobody.
Because
I don't even remember what the thing. I'm gonna look up to see what it was. I laughed out loud because it was so fucking dumb.
I'm guessing it has something to do with a difference in politics, but
it's about trans something.
Yeah, I'm sure, because she can't stop thinking about it. But I don't know. J.K. Rowling, I don't know. Aren't we all annoyed by her? I don't know. Maybe not.
No, nobody likes her.
No one, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe.
Oh, this is what it was. Because I don't know about you. I love Pedro Pascal. I think.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, so he said something about like shutting down her. I don't think he even did much, but she tweeted, "Can't say I feel very shut down, but keep at it, Pedro. God loves a trier." Go fuck yourself. Like, you're so entitled.
That's what I'm saying. She's not the gatekeeper of celebrity. I don't know what your initials stand for, dude. I don't.
I guess I don't either, I guess.
I couldn't tell you anything about her. I found out she was British like 2 years ago.
Oh, I mean, that was kind of, I knew that because I watched Harry Potter, I think, but.
I mean, listen, it was based in London, but you don't know anything, who knows?
Fair enough. What do you think JK stands for?
Janet, Karen, or is it just the letters?
I guess we don't know her middle name. J.K. Rowling is her pen name, obviously. This is such a bad first name, Joanne. She would be a Joanne.
She would be a
no
Joanne.
News of a middle name. So that could be anything. It could be Clux,
Yeah.
Short for something else.
It's such a good joke, Zach. That's one of the best jokes you've ever told. That's so good. Listen, we could talk about her all day. She is a nightmare.
She is a nightmare. You're right.
She's a nightmare who also, and listen, this is the only part of her I envy a little bit. I wish I had one idea so good that I could keep beating it to death for more money.
It's kind of this. It's kind of not. No, it is. It's the equivalent of a one-hit wonder. It's a series, but it's one idea. And she didn't even really flesh it out. She's tried to write other stuff. And then I believe she used another pen name because she didn't want it associated with, because she thought people weren't liking her shit because it's not Harry Potter. So she tried a different name. That failed. Like, she just stinks. She's not good at writing. Even the Harry Potter books. This is so nerdy. I don't even want to talk about it. But like, she can't write those either. One of the books, I think it's the 6th book. The first 150 or 200 pages of the book are 5 minutes of the movie because nothing fucking happens.
All of her books are like that. She can't. The first book, people always shit on me because I never read the Harry Potter books. I tried. This is true. I tried to read the first Harry Potter book as a child 8 times. I tried over 5 years to read the first book because I wanted to get into it. And you can't be mean to an orphan for 110 pages and keep me hooked. It takes 110 pages for anything magical to happen.
True. That's not good. And then you started to read Holes and you got even more mad at it, apparently.
I can't talk about Holes, Zach. The internet's already against me on that. Okay.
Yeah, that's an unpopular opinion. Like, everyone likes Holes. I don't know. It's weird that everyone likes it.
Everyone likes Holes. No one's bothered by how sad it is except me. It's just not true. And listen, I can have a bummer and still think it's a good time. I read Schindler's List in 8th grade for extra credit. Try to convince my friends to read it because it's a great book. Everyone should read it. I'll tell you now, it's a lot different than the movie. the movie is based off the book. The book is a lot more historical and autobiographical. So, like, I think probably a third of the book is literally listing of names.
Lazy writing.
So it's a history book, but it's good. The movie is one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion. But which you should take because
but Holes is too sad.
Yeah. You should
remember that.
You should take with a lot of weight because I don't like Holes, and I also rated Home on the Range as one of the best Disney movies of all time. So you should really you care about what I think about movies. But I was gonna say, if you're gonna be sad, do it, baby. Like Hunger Games is great, and we're sad from the get-go. We're hunting, we're doing stuff. Yeah. I love those books.
But Jake thinks Holes is too sad because we're eating onions in the desert for pleasure.
There's no,
and then and then Jake's of the opinion Harry was treated a little badly by his aunt and uncle.
A little bit, and this is the thing, a little badly, and then he goes away, and we like have to go back to them every book. JK's like, you know what these people want? More of the abusive step parents. That's what we need in our lives.
That is fair. Someone should have stepped in after, right? Like everyone knows what's going on there.
I will make a
distinction. Call CPS.
A serious distinction. I do not think Holes is boring. And if I've said as much, I don't
think you said boring.
No,
you just had
I think the first, sad for you. That's why I couldn't do the first 110 pages. It was very boring. And I don't want to read about that. It was uninteresting. Holes, I think, is interesting. You tell me if I'm wrong. Oh, you got me talking about Holes again. Never mind. I'm out. I don't like
the only interesting thing that happens early in the Harry Potter is that he potentially could talk to snakes. But we don't know what the snake said. So it's a pretty one-sided conversation.
Listen, I also think like we don't have to give. I don't need to know what J.K. Rowling thinks about Pedro Pascal just because she had one burner idea. By the way, that banger of idea was, what if I ran through a wall and it took me to a different train station? How many?
Also shouldn't. There's no shot in hell, and I have no evidence to prove this. But I think you're going to fully agree with me. There's no way she didn't steal that idea.
Oh.
There's no way.
Other people were doing magic books.
I'm saying to the fucking T. I think she bought somebody out, or she just had a conversation with somebody, or she had a niece who had an imaginative, I think she stole this entire idea. I don't think anything is her, except for the very racist names of people in the book, like Cho Chang, like Crookshank, the black guy, it's Shacklebolt, the black guy, like shit like that. You know what I mean? Goldstein, the Jewish wizard.
It's bad. It's bad. And by the way, I heard someone regurgitate this to me one time, and I agree with this. If you're listening to this, you're like, just let me enjoy Harry Potter piece. I know you've taken these lumps already. I had someone tell me that one time. It's like, I wrestle with this every time. That's fine. That's okay. But even those people, the people who still love Harry Potter aren't out here like, you know what my favorite part about it is? The author.
Oh, if somehow we could just buy her silence, I think, exactly. Completely cut ties. Harry Potter, as popular as it already is, which is one of the most popular things of all time, it would skyrocket.
Yes. That's what I think every time, is never something flourished despite the best efforts of its creator like this. Yeah. Besides
during the success too.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's unlike Kanye. Kanye had already stopped doing his best work, you know? I don't know. I like him more. Maybe not currently, but at one point he had the genius.
Kanye was the best.
Yeah.
He was the best at one point. Just him and Mike Myers talking about George Bush. That was great. Stuff like that.
Oh, Jared Taylor just sent me a video. Is this about J.K. Rowling?
Is it MGK?
No, it's. By the way, Jared Taylor, if you're listening to this, I love you. Shout out. I'm about to make fun of you slightly, so hang in there, but it's for a good reason. He is Emily's partner, our sister, but she showed up to camp. Oh, my sister. Sorry. Mistake.
Oh, I think you said or sister. I'm like, what?
Oh, sorry.
Emily's boyfriend. Continue.
Emily's boyfriend, Emily's my sister. Anyway.
Yeah.
He showed up to camp because Emily needed a paddleboard. He, every time he comes into the place, pulls in with his paddleboards. Howdy, amigo. It's like, howdy. He says hi to me. He leaves again. Adios, amigos. I'm like, are you taking Duolingo? Like, what's going on? I come to find out he greets everyone that way. He says, hola, amigos. Adios, amigos.
Multicultural up there in New Auburnish, wherever that would be.
In the trees around Curtis. Yeah. It's listen,
the Ozarks of Wisconsin.
I do like it. But no, here's what I'll say. You give me a list of celebrities J.K. Rowling dislikes. I probably like everyone on the list.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
She is our generation's Randy Quaid. My dad can't stand that man, and I couldn't connect to it. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't care. And now there she is, you know?
That's true. Maybe I have no idea. I feel like Quaid at least was relevant. I don't think J.K. Rowling's relevant. So there's like certain pockets of people who are still trying to make her relevant, but she's not.
You know what? That's such a good point, Zach. What does Stephanie Meyer think of anything? Like, it's like, you know, I have my issues with Twilight too, but I'm not out here bashing her because I don't.
I know very like bare minimum facts about that. She's a weirdo.
I'm sure she is, but I don't feel strong about her because she's not making it my business. She rewrote a book and just flipped the genders.
Pretty much. Yeah. She based it on 50 Shades of Grey or something. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, no, but
she's a weirdo.
Did you know that she literally re-released the Twilight books, but just with genders? Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That's a money grab. I like that.
that. And she announced it as a money grab. She's like,
exactly. Full transparency. Give me your money. This is not going to be good.
That's what I'm talking about. And she was like, and she had one reason. She gave it. She's like, everyone for years said that it was sexist to have like Bella in all the positions. And I'm here to tell you, it wasn't about sexism. It was about money, baby. You can read the book again if you don't believe me.
Yeah. If you hated the first one, I'll flip the gender roles and then you must love it, right? Or you're a hypocrite. So it's one or the other.
Yeah. But buy the book.
Yeah. I like that. That's fun.
No, I love it, dude. It's good. I don't know. This show, by the way, this is an all-timer.
Yeah, and we did talk about the sports. You know what? Let's end on a sports topic. How about that? We'll cruise quickly. I have a couple really quick things here, okay? First off, Justin Tucker is suspended officially for 10 weeks.
I can't believe now we're talking about Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker suspended for 10 weeks. One of the greatest kickers of all time. Ravens already cut him, coming off a bad year. So, but he's not going to fight it, the suspension, because of blah, 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 blah. He also didn't apologize. But the fact that he's not fighting it means he's done. There's no way he's picked up by anybody because as soon as someone picks him up, then the clock starts. Then he has to sit out for 10 weeks. Yeah. So if he's not going to fight it, he's fucking guilty. Otherwise, why wouldn't you fight it?
And, okay. I didn't know we were going to weigh into this. I'm so glad we are. We got to hold him to this because I'm sick and tired of every time someone goes on suspension for something that Deshaun Watson, like he did it. Maybe not all 98 accusations have been exactly the way listed, but he took listen, the odds are he did some of those things. He reached a lot of agreements. A lot of things were admitted to.
Well, at some point, what does the extra numbers mean? Like, it doesn't add worseness. That's
and everyone's like, well, he contended some of it and then settled and did whatever. And they tried to make that seem like he's innocent. Well, then we must all agree, right? We're all in agreement then that Justin fucking did it.
Yeah. If he's not going to, he's not even really denying it anymore. He's just not saying anything. But if you're not going to fight the suspension when it is almost a full season and you're coming off a bad year and you're a kicker, so they're going to have to pay you to sit on the team, and there's no shot he plays again. Like,
No, he's done.
He has to be. There's
And he
no
should be.
shot that he plays. Right.
Yeah, just wanted to get that out there. I think we all agree. But listen, this is slightly dark humor, but I do think it's funny, so I'll bring it up. Now that, and you can Google the full extent of the Justin Tucker allegations, now that this is settled, I would have loved to be a fly in the wall when he started reading about Deshaun.
Right. Can you believe this guy? Right? Right? Weird.
Was he doing that, or was he like, fuck, this is bad? Like, he's like, oh no, people get in trouble for this now. But yeah, was he in rooms
from the timing?
Yeah.
If the timing seems accurate at all, from my understanding, it is he read the stuff about Deshaun and then he went to do it.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a good idea.
That's what I want to know is the timeline of it. He's like,
yeah.
Now that people are looking for this, and this is what I'm saying is like, he knew people were looking for it and he did it for the love of the game. For the love of the
He's the
ass.
only kicker who can't get away with it. He's the only kicker's face we know.
Dude, you can't be out here. He's the only kicker whose face he's known he had a bad year. It's a bad combo in football.
Yeah. If he here's the thing. If he hit 96% of his kicks,
what's the
percentage? It's like, what's the percentage? Because I think he was like fourth worst in the entire league last year. He was 70 something. But if he was like 85, 86, Packers have finally found a kicker. Thank God. He also accused of bad stuff. We don't care because he can make kicks. That's all we're looking for. And if he was at like 89, he's a Brown at the very least.
He served a little time off. Dude, how so true. How bad could Harrison Butker be and still think that women aren't people?
Right? You know what? Harrison Butker, not great opinions, but he makes enough kicks for us just to not ask any more opinions from him. That's it.
He's a J.K. Rowling. Stop asking him what you think of Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, exactly. He loves J.K. Rowling, guaranteed.
Harrison Butker loves Harry Potter. There's no doubt in my mind. But Justin Tucker, that's a good note that he'll be out, probably done. And here's my question. So we're just not going to talk about him for Hall of Fame, right? We're done? We're good? Are we going to revisit that?
He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, I don't know.
It's interesting because he's a kicker. Like, you have to be absolutely insane. But even so, because Vinatieri, I don't think got it, right? First ballot? I don't think.
Not first ballot. No way. Yeah.
Well, he's not in yet then.
Oh.
Is he? Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. I thought he was nominated and didn't get in.
First off,
crazy.
I'm multitasking. Let me find the answer to your question, but he should sue whoever puts his photos on Google, because that is
Vinatieri.
That's not fair. His first photo that pops up makes him look 92.
I mean, he's looked that way for a while.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
I think he was just nominated, and I don't think he got it.
Was not inducted in his first opportunity as the part of class of 2025. Okay. He was
stuck to the game plan of moving forward and paid the price. Are we talking about UFC?
What are we? Facts. Yeah. Hey, Oliveira. Yeah, we could talk about it, dude. Yeah, that's so true. I will say, let us know. I like UFC. We could talk about it.
We can talk about John Jones. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
We all agree there.
Adam Vinatieri didn't get in, but we put Jared Allen's ass in.
I'm a Jared Allen guy.
I know you
I'm cool with it. But there's no shot in hell Vinatieri's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. That makes no sense. Like, if you want to talk, he's the greatest at his position of all time. You can't talk about the history of the NFL without talking about Vinatieri. All the big kicks, the Super Bowl kicks, the kicks to go to the Super Bowl, the game winners, the records. He's the all-time leading scorer in a sport where games are decided by points. Like, he has scored the most points. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. It's just old, angry players about how long it took them, or how they just have the opinion that kickers aren't football players. Like, it makes no. I'm not a specialist guy either, but Vinatieri is the greatest to ever do it. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and you gotta look at things that way. Like, he should have been in, but it makes it interesting. Like we're talking about when it comes to legacy. like if Tucker played any other position, I wouldn't even bring that up because listen, Brett, a guy I like to pick on sometimes because his scandals are funny to do so. Brett Favre is a no doubt Hall of Famer, and he literally
he's getting a statue at Lambeau.
He took money from a state for a volleyball stadium.
Now Wisconsin. Who cares? He's loved me some Brett Favre. I'm down for this.
He committed a crime you'd see in a children's novel.
Yeah, he's the Grinch, basically.
Absolutely. He is the Grinch. What did the bad guy and it's Charlie the Chocolate Factory. What's that guy doing over there? Oh, his daughter plays volleyball, so he's taking money from welfare.
Go to mysportshirt.com if you want a Brett Favre Grinch shirt. Might be Brett Favre. I don't know. Kind of looks similar to him.
Kind of looks similar.
Got in trouble with Zinn recently, so got a little cease and desist. So I'm going to be a little more alleged with what I say.
Gotta be.
But I think Justin Tucker's still the most accurate kicker in NFL history, even with that season. Allegedly. Otherwise, he's close. But you know what? If we don't want to put him in, I don't care. He hasn't done anything to change the game. I will say that. So if you want to go by that bar, like he's not a Hall of Famer, and then all of a sudden he's got allegations, and he's a weirdo. It is what it is.
I just don't know if we'll care enough. That's my only argument there.
That's a great segue. I'm going to read some names to you, and you're going to just tell me what they all have in common talking about care enough, okay?
Yeah.
Stop me when you know, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Macklin Celebrini. Juraj Slavovsky.
Stop. I know what this is.
Okay, what is it?
Were these all taken in the NHL draft?
You're close. We're going to keep going until you figure it out.
Okay.
Owen Power. Alexis Lafreniere. Jack Hughes.
NBA draft.
No. You were right with the sport before.
Oh, NHL? Are these on the Stanley Cup winning team?
No. Nope. This one will give it away. Skip this guy. Well, maybe this will give it away. Matthew Schaefer.
No.
Okay. Maybe this will give it away. Connor Bedard.
I mean, I know the name.
Austin Matthews. Connor McDavid.
Yeah. Are these members of the Oilers? What's happening? NHL?
These are all, I just named essentially the last 12 years or so of the first overall draft picks in the NHL draft. You did know a couple names.
I knew Jack Hughes too. I just didn't know why we were talking about him.
I didn't know he was the first overall pick either. But nobody knows, nobody cares. McDavid. All I heard about that, reading those names, Oilers got it right. That's all I know.
Listen, this is an age-old sports question. What is, if the Oilers never win one in this, I know they've already won some, but if they never win one with McDavid,
mm-hmm.
Are they going to be thank God we made it twice? Or is it worse? I
don't know. I think it's just because of how little success Canadian hockey has had. I think it's good that they've made it, because just speaking of marketing, I think of Canada like the state of California. I think they're about equivalent. They're both on fire. They both have a bunch of teams in the same thing. So I assume they're all competing for the same fans. I am guaranteed wrong, but I assume that's what Canada is. It's just one little state. So I think they're all Edmonton fans now.
Yeah.
Nobody cheers for the Canadians. Nobody cheers for the Jets.
Leafs?
Is that nobody cheers for the Leafs? I'm confident in that one.
The Jets.
What is it? Winnipeg Jets? Is that right?
Winnipeg Jets, formerly the Atlanta Thrashers. Keep some respect. Might be the future Atlanta Thrashers.
God willing, get them back here.
Sure. Well, as long as we're talking about Zach, I did have two. My friend Taven, who's a big hockey fan from God State, Michigan, so he's a Wings fan. God bless him. He sent me two articles from the draft. The one that might be in more headlines, so I'll start with that one. The 5th overall pick, Martin. Let me get his first name, Brady Martin. This is a real sentence from this article on NHL.com. Late Thursday night, while many of the NHL's top draft prospects were enjoying the bright lights and glamour that is Los Angeles before the biggest day of their respective lives, Brady Martin was out in the darkness, rounding up cows. His cows. That is a separate, this is so dumb. I'm going to show this to the camera. A separate sentence emphasized. Let me see if I can get that there. His cows.
Separate full paragraph break. His
italicized.
Cows. Oh, italicized his. What an author. They thought they were doing something there. He wasn't just rounding up any cows. They were his. Probably his dad's.
Yeah. Honestly, respect game. Commuters driving through Southern Ontario night. It's what you do, said the 18-year-old. He couldn't go because cows got out at the farm.
What we're just going to let them all go away? Because he's going to skate around for the rest of his life?
Hey, dude, there's always more drafts. You only have so many cows.
That's true. How much are they paying him to be at the draft? Nothing? Okay, well, these cows cost money. We got to get them back in the pen. If they're gone, all of a sudden, not making money. So you know what? There you go.
His dad's out there like, maybe if it was the NFL draft, I'd let you go. But you're
yeah, for sure.
You're helping me round these up, God damn it.
Yeah. You should have been a long snapper. Told you.
So he stayed with his family, watched that. So yeah, I mean, listen, we like that, right?
That's great. It reminds me it's different because this is an unplanned thing and he just stayed home, which I think is good, helping his family. But it reminds me of the Joe Thomas going fishing with his dad thing.
Yeah.
Again, that was planned. That was intentional. This is almost better because he put it was a selfless act. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, listen, there's bigger fish to fry. I'm a farmer first. I just happen to be hell on wheels on ice, dude.
He's at the first overall draft pick. I mean,
he's the fifth. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, his cows, like, I mean, if it's his cows, he's fucking responsible for them. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, his cows, italicized, bolded. I want to get, who is the fifth pick in this year's draft? Dude, he would do this too. Mason Graham. If Mason Graham's cows got out.
Oh. The cows wouldn't dare get out from Mason Graham. You know what I mean?
The only thing I love more than my cows is my quarterback. Mm-hmm. I will kill a man. Listen, we got to stop doing that. That happened. I think I told you this story. One time at Stout, we had like a department meeting. This is where I work now. All the department heads got up and they were thanking everybody for what they do one at a time. It was like, all right, IT, thank you. And they were like, I'd like to thank everybody for what they do. Great job. Head of one department gets up. We just have an awesome team here. I would die on the sword for these people. We're like, die. Jesus.
I was just trying to raise the stakes a little bit.
Yeah, I would die for those in the office of card registration.
Relax.
And then our director went up and we're like, if you're not going to fucking take a bullet for us, man, don't bother,
Yeah, exactly. How much do you love us?
That's right. Well, a second draft related story from the NHL. You can read this on NHL.com as well. Zach Park, who went, let me get his first name for you. Aiden Park went second to last in the NHL draft. Los Angeles native, just showed up, bought a ticket, was watching other people, had no idea he was going to get picked. He was in the crowd, shorts and the t-shirt. Come on up, buddy.
Come on down.
You're picked. Yeah, 223rd of 224 selections.
That's surprising that there's that many people drafted. Is it not? That's crazy.
Yeah, that caught me too. I'm glad that also caught you by surprise.
That's a lot. NBA, there's 60. That seems like too many.
So that many picks and he was there. That's funny.
That is great. That's fun.
Yeah, and he was there. He played for Green Bay, so Wisconsin. But yeah, from LA. And he was there. This is my favorite, though. It's like, this is how you know what caliber of player he is. And I assume good dude. He said in the article, he's like, an executive came up to me earlier today and he's like, I think you're going to get drafted. He said, no way.
Shut up. Fuck you. There's no way.
Don't get my fucking hopes up, man.
Doubt it. Hell if I am. Bet. Try it. Dare ya.
But his roommate got drafted the day before Riker Lee, which, by the way, great fucking name.
That's a great name. Yeah.
He bull rides in the offseason.
For sure. For sure. Jared, watch out.
Jared Taylor. Riker Lee. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. And he plays hockey. But his roommate was getting like interviewed and he goes, oh shit, someone took Aiden, which is great, you know? So
that's true.
Good. But
that is a wild thing. Like, oh my God, he actually got drafted. Shit.
True. So one guy wasn't there tending to his cows. Other guy there just observing, which I think every draft should do.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, it was because it was in Green Bay, but that one kid that got drafted by the Packers in the 4th round or whatever, they made that a huge deal. That's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. Yeah, listen, I know it's hockey, so it's a little different, but I do love the idea of being like, oh my God, he's from LA. Like there's so many people. Like
true. Yeah, it's different.
How many of you are from LA? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for hockey, who knows?
I know that's a big deal. And they made it seem that way. Like, oh my God, hometown kid. What are the odds?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know.
That's true. If that draft was in Arbor, it'd be like whoop-de-doo.
Right. Yeah. If they actually came from fucking Sunshine, Florida, like, holy shit.
Cool. That's true. Big Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
Yeah. Born and raised. Like, really? Okay. Interesting. It's like the first, I mean, no, I'm not even going to say it. But true. I'm not going to go there. Any other hockey stories?
No, that's it. We've talked enough hockey, you know?
We have talked enough hockey. I want to go out on this one last thing because this one article is a very FlurrySports podcast article, in my opinion. It's from Pro Football Focus.
Nice.
Those who know me know I love me some Pro Football Focus. Love what they do over there. And I'll even shout out the author because I think he deserves it. John Costco is writing about the ceilings the floors for all second-year NFL quarterbacks. And the ceilings and the floors are comparing them to current NFL players.
Okay.
So, for an example, this isn't one of them. Let's say Aaron Rodgers' ceiling this year is John Elway, and his floor is Brett Favre with the Vikings. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what they're essentially doing. But for all second-year quarterbacks, all of them are current players except for one, and it's going to be the most obvious one. We're just going to go through them. I'm going to have you guess what the ceilings and floor for each of these quarterbacks is.
Okay.
First one, he already kind of breaks his rule a little bit because the floor isn't necessarily a player. I'll say the floor is bust, and I'm not sure why he couldn't come up with a bust. Maybe he was just being nice. I'll give him a pass on that. That's fine.
He just didn't want to say Ryan Leaf's name. Like, what are we doing?
Right, because he breaks the rules with current quarterbacks later anyway. What do you think Caleb Williams' ceiling is for a player this year?
This year?
Yep, of a current NFL quarterback. I'll even say starter. Not all of them are starters, but this is a starter.
What would he say?
Honestly, I'll even give you my agenda here up top. I want you to match skin color. Go.
CJ Stroud.
Close, very close in terms of complexion. I haven't compared the two, but I just assumed these two people have the exact same complexion.
Did you shout out this author just to be like, by the way, this article's a little racist?
Yep, fuck this guy, John Costco.
I love that, dude. That's awesome. Okay, great. I love that. Now I know what game we're playing. Patrick Mahomes.
Close in complexion as well. Jordan Love. That's a ceiling. It's a very low bar to set, but you know what? There you go. They're going to get better.
Be doing this to me. You've really ran me through my emotions gauntlet today. If we're about to end on, by the way, we can only compare quarterbacks to folks they'd be in Guess Who, you're going to lose me. It's my least favorite thing we do in sports.
I know. That's why this is the most FlurrySports podcast thing of all time.
Okay, here we go. Bring it on. Who's next?
Next is Jaden Daniels. Who do you think Jaden Daniels' ceiling could be?
Well, his floor is Tyrod Taylor, and his ceiling is
a little more optimistic than Tyrod.
Okay.
It's a starter as well.
Okay. Floor? You want me to guess floor too, or all just ceiling?
Both.
Ceiling is Lamar Jackson.
Of course. Yes, of course. I don't know why, but it has to be.
Jesus Christ. Floor is a little higher than that. Let's say
make sure they're mobile.
Russell Wilson.
Russ is good. More mobile. It's Kyler Murray.
First off, keep his name out of your mouth when talking about Jaden Daniels. I'd be pissed about that if I was Jaden.
I agree. The floor, though. That's just a floor.
By the way, CJ Stroud is right there. That's a great floor comparison. Like, I don't want to do the race
CJ
thing.
Stroud is half.
Where's
so
Sam
I don't
Howell?
think it works.
Where's Sam Howell?
To be fair, actually, Kyler Murray, I think, is part Korean. So this also doesn't work.
That's true. All right, let's keep going. By the way, we're acknowledging that this list is racist. We don't agree.
Yeah.
Okay, carry
on.
Not
my list. Not my list.
John
Next one. This is
Costco.
This is where it gets fun. This is one of my favorite ones. Drake May.
Floor this season. Other starters.
Potentially a starter. Borderline right now.
Daniel Jones.
Yep.
You said borderline starter, white guy, and I was all over it.
Of course.
And
they play so much alike.
Did he say? Why can't I think of anyone's name right now? The Chargers quarterback, Herbert.
He's for a future one. Honestly, they use Herbert for. It's very inclusive. Actually, it's not necessarily the same skin color.
They didn't fucking say Josh Allen, did they? For Drake May?
No, they hate Drake May. They say his ceiling is Trevor Lawrence.
That's crazy.
You could flip the two; it'd be the same thing to me.
I had the same thought. I was like, wait, is it? Would you rather be Daniel Jones?
I don't know. Yeah, one's had more success than the other.
So true. Okay, that's crazy. His ceiling. Yeah. By the way, this is where this list becomes very obvious. Like that is not. We're using Trevor Lawrence in the list.
Right. Yeah, he had to shoehorn it in. I don't know.
Also, now I need a moment to be angry. You're so correct, Zach, because that's so fucking dumb. Because the only reason you would use those two aren't similar. Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones do not play similar. So either Drake May is going to be can't throw but can run, or he's going to stay in the pocket and throw a million picks. Like, what are we doing?
Drake May doesn't really play like either of them either. Like, it doesn't make sense. They're all from North Carolina. They all played college ball there. Or no, Clemson, South Carolina.
They don't have to worry about getting pulled over for going the speed limit. I mean, otherwise they don't got anything in fucking common. What are we doing?
Nothing. This next one, I'll give him credit for the ceiling. I'll tell you who it is because you'll never guess it because it doesn't even make sense, really. Michael Penix Jr., the ceiling is Justin Herbert.
Okay. We got one.
Sure. So I guess could be good on a bad team. I don't know how that makes sense, but that's true. Who do you think the floor is? He gets back on brand here for the floor.
Michael Penix Jr. Did he say a starter?
In our hearts, I think again probably borderline.
Okay. Oh my God, he said Jameis Winston.
He did, yeah.
That's brutal. That's tough.
That is tough. And honestly, that's not a bad floor. Again, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Can I say, in terms of so far, like where the relation of the floor to the ceiling guys are, might be his best one? Like, I think it's an interesting comparison to be like Jameis Winston to Justin Herbert is an interesting, Yeah.
I
guess that's the same ballpark. One of
these quarterbacks has been to the playoffs more recent. Or no, Herbert was in the playoffs last year, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
But even still, whatever.
One of these had one of the greatest seasons of all time. He just also threw 60 interceptions.
Whoops. Who knew? This next one's my favorite because it is so obvious.
Yeah. Damn.
And you're going to love it too because it's talking about one of your least favorite players in the NFL already.
Okay, good.
JJ McCarthy. And I just want you, again, please do not picture his on-field play. You just need to look at JJ McCarthy's name. Or no, look at his face.
Yeah.
How does JJ McCarthy look? Who does he look like? And give me his ceiling at his floor. Because this is the most obvious one of all time.
Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold.
Close. Sam Darnold is the floor.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's too. You need more preppy nepotism white.
Okay, I'm just not thinking of the dude.
You're so close though. Josh Allen's more blue collar.
Burrow.
Yeah, Burrow and Darnold and McCarthy are the same person. Again, not talking about on-field play. They're just the same person.
Did Mel Kiper write this list? Like, what are we doing?
No, I do want to remind everybody, though. It is John Costco, I believe. Yep, with a K. Kosko. Sorry.
That might be
this just came out.
That might be what JK stands for. Joanne.
Maybe this is JK Rowling's new pseudonym. Crazy.
She would write this list. That is.
We got one left, though.
By the way, not the thing to be most mad about in this list. I don't like JJ McCarthy. You've already said it.
Yeah.
Don't keep Joe Burrow's name out of. What are we doing?
I should just bring up the pictures of these three people. They are the same person. I can't even.
They're the same Pokemon evolution.
They are. They're the same fucking person. So let's go, Joe. Jeez, I can't type. Okay,
by the way,
Joe.
Sam Darnold's a floor now. A high floor. They think JJ. Why does everyone like JJ McCarthy so much? Also, like JJ McCarthy's floor is maybe Jameis Winston. Like we could have gone that route. We could have done something there.
That's true. Why is it showing it like this?
Also,
I just think it's important to get this up.
This
is Joe Burrow.
This is how lazy this writer is. 1 second. Zach, if I had to tell you, you're thinking of a floor for a young, talented Minnesota Viking with a leg injury who everyone knew was supposed to be good but maybe won't be anymore. What name comes to mind that maybe you could say?
It's the same thing. Everything's surface level.
Can't we just say Teddy
analysis.
Bridgewater and move on? Like that's lazy, but you could do it, but we can't do that because you wouldn't pick him out of a lineup. Like, what are we doing?
Okay, so far we got this. We got
By the
this.
way, I do really want to see that
person.
that's crazy. I do. YouTube, Flurry Sports, like and subscribe. We appreciate it. This is a good plug. We've got a video coming. I'm finishing touches on one about the Rooney Rule. So this is a great plug for that.
Which one's which? I honestly can't decipher who's who.
Yeah, one of them hasn't shaved.
McCarthy honestly is the child of these two. This is a missing no agenda Wisconsin situation. They're all the same person.
This is by the way, figuring out that looked like missing now is also an all-timer. This is insane. This is insane.
True, but Jake,
one more left.
One left, and that is Bo Nix. And remember, I said one is a not active quarterback, so I'll give that to you. One of the ceiling or the floor is a former NFL quarterback.
Did they say John Elway? Did they do the Broncos thing? Okay.
No. But you do got to do a ceiling and a floor. The floor is a backup. I will say that.
Oh, okay. Floor for Bo Nix. Let's do Mitch Trubisky.
Close. It is. It's Mac Jones.
Okay. That's by the way, pretty low floor.
It is a very low floor. He's not a starter. I think Bo Nix is going to be a starter. So
what did he say? Phillip Rivers?
No. Got to think more. Bingo. Hey, he plays for Sean Payton. What a dumb article. It's so stupid.
I wasn't going to say this because I thought at first you were being sincere and you liked it. Also, what do we do? We're running out of things to write. We have to do
honestly. I should write this article and say every quarterback's ceiling and floor, like every starter. For Jordan Love, it's going to be ceiling, Aaron Rodgers, floor, It's gonna be who's that fucking
bad quarterback. Yeah.
Who's the guy who Emily and Hannah hated on? Brett Hundley. It's gonna be that. For JJ McCarthy, it's gonna be ceiling. Brett Favre. Floor. Sam Ponder.
Oh.
Let's just it's just and but it's not a ceiling and floor based on just the franchise.
Okay.
Don't even think about that. I want to do a comparison. Whatever. Everyone understands what this article is. It's the whole white receiver is Wes Welker like. It is this black quarterback could be Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick. It is all of that stuff. It's this
white quarterback's got a lot of good decision making skills. He really makes a lot of things happen in his head.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. But Cam Ward is an athlete. Cam Ward is reactionary. He's a playmaker. Stuff like that.
By the way, I would just like to say Daniel Jones got asked to play a different position one time. He threw a fit, joined a different team. Lamar Jackson's won 2 MVPs. So let's talk about it a little bit. I had to listen to talk shows for 3 years. Tell me that maybe he was playing the wrong position. I don't
know if he's a quarterback. I'm not sure. What position would you like him to play?
They were saying that about Kyler Murray. Listen, I don't think Kyler Murray's a great quarterback. You want 5'8" Kyler Murray out there catching drop passes? Like, what are we doing?
It's as dumb of a conversation as when LeBron's like, I could play receiver. Get your fucking 6'8" ass out there. I'm gonna hit you in the shin once. Snap your leg.
It's called a cut block, dude. Cookie.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Look out.
Like, no, you can't.
All right. Zach, can I end on something fun? We'll get this taste out of our mouth. I thought of a game on the fly. Okay?
Sure.
You made me think of it with Christian Ponder. All right?
Ooh, good.
We're going to go back and forth. Let's do this 3 times. I'll let you start. You're going to name a team. I think let's keep it football, but if you want to get fun, we could do probably basketball. You name a team. You count to 3. We say who names the funnest name, the name that makes the other one giggle the most. Because Christian Ponder kind of got me.
Christian Ponder is good. I wonder what Christian Ponder's doing. He was drafted high. Wasn't he like the 10th pick?
True. Let's do it this way so that we don't have an unfair advantage. You say a team, I say a name, then I'll say a team, and you say a name.
Okay, That's fair. So give me a Dolphin.
Richie Incognito.
I do love Richie Incognito. Okay. I thought you were going to go Jake Long, who I also love.
I thought it was a little mainstream. I also almost said Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor's good. There's got to be some. There's a lot of. They have a million running backs who are all the same exact person.
Yeah.
Or Tannehill. Tannehill's fun too. Tannehill he's basically just Daniel Jones. He should have been.
Took me too long to think of this name. What would you done? I said Mark Duper.
Mark Duper is good.
Super Duper.
Very good one.
Dang.
Super Duper.
All right. Well, my answer is Richie Incognito. Zach, can you give me a Ram?
A Ram. Blake Bortles.
Damn. I purposely didn't do Jacksonville so you could do that, but you got me anyway.
Found the boat. He set sail and hitched his wagon there. I mean, you know who also was a Ram? Sam Congato was a Ram for a little bit.
I thought you were
a fun one.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, there's some.
For whatever reason, Weddle's always fun. Didn't remember him.
Kevin Green.
Kevin Green's incredible.
Yeah, I know you love Kevin Green. Deacon Jones, my favorite.
He's a psycho too. Okay. Let's do.
I'll give
another round
because you found Blake Bortles.
It's hard to find them sometimes.
Yeah.
Give me. This is a team that has a lot of just random obscure people, so I'm interested. Give me a Titan.
I was thinking you were going to go Colts. I was in the right division. Okay, Titan. That's fun. Oh God, did I lose power? I'm back. Is there a more fun answer than Pac-Man Jones?
I do love Pac-Man Jones. I've never seen anyone play 2 positions before. That's crazy. Oh, let's just think about 15 years ago with Pac-Man Jones. I'm so stupid.
Yeah. Pac-Man Jones. I almost went Bruce Matthews. Is that more fun?
I don't think it's more fun, but he's incredible.
Yeah.
He's
Eddie
great.
George. I was thinking of big names, but like.
What about Lindale White? Remember him?
Oh, dude. Okay. Can I change my answer? You're gonna think this guy's good, but I think of his legs when I say Earl Campbell.
He's got some big legs.
He's my favorite.
True.
Or Buddy Ryan.
Buddy Ryan.
I wish I would have pulled that, but I official answer Pac-Man Jones. That's pretty fun. Can you give me a jet? There's a right answer.
Oh, the Brickashaw Ferguson.
Fuck you, dude. Absolutely go fuck yourself. That's who I was thinking of. Damn
He's
it.
so good. I you know who I almost went, who is the exact opposite person, and I hate that I thought of him first. Chad Pennington. I hate that guy.
Why are you so good at this game? I don't know. That's so good. I was literally like, if he says to Brickashaw Ferguson, he wins.
Brickashaw is such a good name. We've never seen something as good as that.
He was drafted way too high.
No. Like, no one can call him a bust. You get to Brickashaw Ferguson on the left side, it's like, yeah, absolutely.
How high do you think he was taken?
He was pretty early first round, wasn't he? Wasn't he like a 6th overall pick or so?
I believe so.
Am I thinking of somebody else?
No, he's the 4th overall pick.
4th. Yeah, he was early. He was there for how many years did he play, does it say?
10.
It was a lot. Yeah. I mean, shit, whatever.
It's true. I mean, and listen, a good line play. I'm not going to knock it. Can I just see quick who was taken after him?
Yeah, I'm sure a Hall of Famer.
Oh, 2005? I got one.
Ooh.
That's the Rodgers year.
Oh, yeah.
So that's an easy answer for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, this was a trade. A trade so that
They
Bears
traded for him?
Cedric Benson.
Said Ben. I love Said Ben. He's so good.
That's crazy. Yeah, what a draft.
Wow.
Okay, let's do one more round. I'd like to go first this time.
Okay.
I'm going to give you what's a fun team? Let's do I'm going to give you a toss up because I think you're going to give me a really fun Detroit Lion.
Ooh, Detroit Lions. Okay. I mean, this isn't my answer, but an obscure one that almost nobody cares about is Jared Abbrederis.
Yeah.
The Magic Man there. Ooh. This isn't that fun. I just have to shout him out because I love him as a player. DeAndre Levy. He was insane. And then he disappeared off the face of the earth.
I appreciate that you didn't do I thought you were going to go too mainstream and do Dante Culpepper, which is fun to remember, but always fun to say, or Scott Mitchell.
I wasn't there at all. I was thinking, I mean, this is where my mind went. I was hitting all the big people, unfortunately, because I was like Jason Hansen, Eric Ebron. I had Reggie Bush in there.
Jason Hansen is really fun. Like my favorite fun fact ever is Jason Hansen, literally to the point he retired, played half of his life in the NFL.
He's the only thing good about the Detroit Lions. And it didn't matter. He could have been bad. He would have been paid the same.
Yeah, he joined the Lions at age 21, and I believe he left the Lions when he was 42.
Yeah. Yeah, over 20 years.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay, what team you got for me? We'll finish strong.
Let's go with give me a fun. No, I'm not gonna do Cowboys. Give me a fun Giant.
I mean, there is that guy who blew up his hand, but let's do.
Yeah. What's his name? Why can't I think of his name?
Yeah, it's French. It's French. Pierre?
It's not Olivier.
No, but it is French. I remember that piece of it. Let's do who's fun. I mean, how fun is Phil Simms? No, let's
Jason Pierre-Paul. Pierre. That's
brilliant.
Oui.
Sorry, that's really dumb. I'll do Brandon Jacobs.
He was a psycho.
Yeah, I know you love him. I was like, whatever, we'll go.
Remember, this isn't that long ago. Remember, like 5 years ago, he tried to come back as a defensive end or a tight end, one of the two.
He's a fun pick. He's a crazy guy.
Crazy. He was like drunk as shit every time he was out there.
Yeah,
he was
killed
insane.
us in 07. He absolutely killed us in 07.
Yes, he was just Jerome Bettis, but fast. Like he can move. He was huge. We need that back. He was like stronger than Derrick Henry. He's not as fast as Derrick Henry. He was a mammoth in the backfield.
Yeah. That is good. As a joke, I was trying to think of the Iowa State running back's name who's going to play this year for him. I'm like, how fun's that guy? But I couldn't think of it.
Oh, I can't think of his name either.
Yeah, I know. This game's hard when you can't remember guys' names. Iowa State running back.
True. What the fuck's his name? It's really pissing me off. I think it's Iowa. I don't think it's even Iowa State, is it? Or is it Iowa State?
Oh, also I'm an idiot. It's Arizona State.
Oh, you're thinking of a Scatabo.
Yeah, I was almost like Cam Scatabo. Fun name. Joining this year.
Yeah, that is a fun name. I hope he's still a prick. Yeah. I don't want him to get nice on me.
No. I'm going to give that round to me. I think Brandon Jacobs is
fun. I agree. I think that's a good one to go out on. We gave you a long episode. We gave you a fun episode. You know, if it wasn't fun for you, just rest assured it was fun for us.
Yeah.
And I hope that makes you feel good. We'll be back next week, starting July. Here's something. Let's go out on this. Let's talk business. When's our break?
We
can't be soon. It's got to be very soon.
We can't do this every.
Is this the season finale?
No.
Okay.
We can't do
this. Fun one to do.
We'll be back next week. No promises after that.
Bingo. We'll let you know then. Goodbye.